Go. Good afternoon. This is Ifan from the Strategic Day Trader, and this is your market wrap for July 22nd, 2020. Qs and SPY, just about the market just about to close here. Qs are going to close up close to 1/3%. SPY up 0.5%. So some of that sector rotation that we saw yesterday, the relative strength in the SPY there showing up again here today. Now, what's important for the Qs and the SPY is that we got that confirmation of support as we rallied back up. Now, even yesterday in the room at the end of the day, I got quite a few questions about has the market gone bearish? Do we have a breakout failure on the Qs and SPY? And my answer was, frankly, no, it doesn't look like that. We don't know yet if it would become one because we're right into support. Okay, I got the question yesterday, what should be the support here? I said minor support on the Qs here, 260, 260. Okay, that's what I'm looking for there. We tagged it, and we've put in this pivot, SPY leading the way back up to the upside. Okay, so bullish bias tomorrow as the same as what we had today. Okay, still bullish going into tomorrow, same as we had yesterday, the day before, right? Because the range that we put in here, as we were neutral for a few days here, waiting for this to resolve, actually resolved higher so far, hasn't failed on that. But what's good is now, we know where the support is. We got a little bit of the bounce, and so going into tomorrow, we know exactly where the line in the sand is if we were to change from that bullish bias. Okay? All right. Let's get into some of today's plays. I thought the AUPH was really the star of the show and did work out right at the open. Now, yesterday I talked about how to prepare for the open, but that's just one part of the one piece of the puzzle here. So that doesn't mean necessarily you don't get the right things at the open that it's over, that you should give up. And so what I want to go over is there's a couple secondary entries here, and the question is, when you get something that's already moved a lot, as this OMI did yesterday morning, is the move over? Okay, and so that's kind of the question that we always ask ourselves. If we didn't catch the first move, is it too late to get another move in? So I want to show you here on a couple of plays just ways to kind of pick that next play if you feel like you missed the first one. Okay, now if you're in the room, you see us do it daily as we navigate through the time frames, right? Starting with the 1 minute in the morning, then we move to the 2 after the first 30 minutes. Okay, and then after the first hour we move to the 5. We're there until lunch. Okay, and then in the afternoon we use the 15. Okay, so what I use to determine if maybe the play has rested enough to set up another play is I use the 20 MA here. It's just a simple 20 MA. It's not exponential, just a simple 20 MA. You can see it's trying to catch up here because of the gap. So later into the morning, before we switch to the 2 minute, you can see here we're setting up another base breakout yesterday on the OMI in the morning. Okay, and so if you're watching this to say, you know what, this is a tier 1 gap, one of the best gaps that we have today, was the best gap that we had yesterday, maybe I can give it another shot for the next move up. You can see the 20 MA catches up right here, no longer extended. The stop that you're putting in is pretty close to 20 MA. I'd say that's pretty good as far as dealing with the extension. You can see the angle even changed a little bit, flattened out a little bit here. Okay, now the reason I bring up this OMI from yesterday is because this AUPH gave a similar second chance just later in the day. Okay, so early on in the morning, you can see it had a pretty nice move up if you were ready for it. Okay, right there in the morning, you get a breakout. Now, not too worried about the extension here on the 1 minute because we're talking about early in the morning, like first 10-15 minutes, there's no way the 20 MA is going to catch up, right? Especially if you're playing a gap. So just by nature of the gap, it's going to be extended away from the 20 MA. This is still got a lot of the previous day's price still involved in this average. So for the first 10 to 15 minutes, you're really just playing the pattern. You don't really care too much about the 20 MA. Okay, but after the first 15 minutes, then we can start to look at it. Okay, and so as we move through here, right? Notice how, okay, it actually starts to come in instead of base. It's really not until later on in the morning when, right, we've already gone past the first hour here, right? Okay, it's extended, maybe it's not ready. And then finally, 20 MA catches up on the 5 minute here, and you get this nice long base breakout here. Now, I think anybody who plays breakouts should be able to recognize, right, the breakout that we've set here. Very nice sideways base, 20 MA catches up and pushes price. So, you know, if you didn't catch the AUPH right off the bat, and I expect that just about every morning, there's probably one or two that we're going to miss that were still good, not just, you know, anything that moved is considered a miss. It's something that's like within your plan. It's a high quality gap. This was pretty decent. Only thing is the resistance that it had here on the daily, but good shock value, negating that red bar yesterday, right? And so it's not uncommon to miss that first one, especially we can only watch so many things, especially right at the open. Everything's moving. And so this is what you want to kind of look for, especially as we get late into the morning. We're on to the 5 minute. You're waiting for that 20 MA to catch up. You know, because that's the question, because that is a pretty nice move at the open, right? It's already going to be a decent sized green bar. So the concern is, has the move been made? Has it perhaps rested long enough to make that next move? If it's got another one, you know, and this is kind of where it's telling you, all right, here's your shot. If it's going to go, you know, this is the time. Okay, so, you know, I still want to stress just how important it is, the pre-market preparation. That's why we do it every morning and go over kind of what to focus on. But sometimes, you know, the stuff that you were looking at doesn't set up right. I think today my favorite was the, what was it, AUTL? Yeah, it was the AUTL, and I like this gap a lot. This was the favorite, clearing this base, gapping over a red bar, and it just never set up right from the beginning. You can see it started to come in. This is probably a little bit too thin to play. I kind of knew that needed to be pretty strict about the entry here. And so it just never set up. There's no basing at the top. There's not even a break of a previous bar's like high until maybe we've already given away the gap. So sometimes, you know, that's going to happen. This was my favorite. It didn't set up at all. So, you know, kind of wasted time at the open waiting for it to give me a pattern, and then, you know, just kept coming in. And then, you know, as soon as, you know, we go into a downtrend in the morning, it's really not a watch anymore. So, you know, that's going to happen too. And so that's going to cause, you know, you sometimes to miss other plays. So how to know when is it okay to kind of join in on the play, when to play that second burst, right? That's why the MAs come in handy. Okay. All right. I hope you did well today. All right. That's going to do it for today's market wrap. Still bullish on the Qs and SPY going into tomorrow. All right. And we'll see what we get. All right. Have a good rest of the day.